will. I will open the planning meeting for 20, call to order. Approval of minutes, may I have a motion for minutes to okay? Well, second, all those in favor, then we'll say executive session to discuss land bank staff performance and compensation. And I have a motion to enter into the executive session. Okay, I will second it. All those in favor of going. Okay, we are now going into executive session.
And I'd recommend, if I could, Mr. Chairman, that I know Rob is going to pause the thing just a moment. Take that on.
Okay, well, first, we need to review the budget. That's what's on the agenda. So, Jeff, if you would.
Can I just ask really quick, who motion is
Kyle and Tom. Yeah. I got you. I made the note.
Okay. So the finance committee should have received a revised budget in the packet that we sent out earlier this morning. But I will just pass these around as hard copies. So, and that's one thing. Okay. So what we typically like to do, the front page here is a full picture of everything, all our capital projects, our operating expenses, and our administrative expenses. So if we could just go the first page for a moment and just start with the operating budget on the second page. So what we have listed here is the total budget 2025. Mike, would you like me to discuss the government's personnel proposed budget?
Yes.
All right, okay, I will do that. So what we anticipate to have available in 2025 through our HDR and Make Initiative Phase 1 operating funds is reflected as 151,315.9. That is what we expect to have remaining at the end of the year and through August of 2025. Below that is Broome County Time Grant admin. This is how the executive director's salary and benefits are covered under administrative services agreement with Broome County. So if the finance committee were to accept the personnel's recommendation, that figure would be reflected in $133,143. And then one item of note that we want to make clear to the board is we do have a good chunk of fund balance budgeted for 2025. And the reason for that is we have to balance the operating budget and anticipate that HDR will renew operating funds in August, or in July, August timeframe. And if they do renew that and we're eligible to apply for those funds, then we'll make appropriate investment at that time. But for budgeting purposes, we can't budget for something that doesn't exist.
You guys don't have any reason to believe that that's not coming through. This will be the round. This will be the round 3 of the first 2 rounds that are report.
Yeah, and it's funding that, in my opinion, that's pretty well separate fund. Okay, so then below is just basically a breakdown. There's not much changes below as it relates to what we budgeted for 2024. Everything's sort of the same. So going line by line, $3,000 for contingency, $1,400 for directors and officers insurance, $11,600 for general liability insurance in the event that we acquire more properties. When we complete projects, we like to increase the limit on those too. So we increase the limit and the premium goes up. We do have to have crime insurance as it relates to our state grants at $500. Office supply stays the same at $1,500. We reduced printing and postage slightly, $32,000 for equipment. For professional services, our administration staff member and attendance accepts personal information, that would be 125,277. Our audit, we are budgeting $9,800, but you'll know in 2024, we will be budgeted 9,600, or spent 6,500. Reason for the $9,800 figure is because of our routine annual audit and the chance that we have to under single audit because our federal dollars. Right now, we're like maybe slightly under $700,000 in federal dollars spent. So if we exceed $750,000 by the end of the year, then we'll have accounting, $12,000. It's just monthly fees for our accounting firm. Marketing at $1,500. Legal at $6,000. Professional service contracts. This is primarily our agreement with all that is the services at $12,000. Programs to do work dues, we're budgeting $2,500 for that. We need that as a year thing. We have $1,000 budgeted for travel trainings, and then property maintenance, balance budget contracted services 17,754, to 100 security and 30. Any questions about operating budget?
No question. Okay,
I can just go on to the next few pages.
go ahead.
Okay, great, okay. So the next page is our administrative budget. This reflects staff expenses. So it's very similar to the operating budget. These figures are also represented in the operating budget, but a breakdown of the administrative budget. 133, 143, this is for in-kind grant for the executive director salary benefits. And then again, to balance the budget, we're projecting $79,330.16 for the assistant director salary and benefits in 2025 come from our Living Initiative grant, and then the remainder to balance the budget from our fund balance for budget purposes. Again, I don't anticipate that to be the case, and we will refer to our administrative fees from our grant programs before we were to jump into our fund. And then below is just a breakdown of salary. Questions about our
We need a motion to approve.
One more page. One more page, okay. Capital project budget. So in 2025, I mean, the board will know that this is the capital project budget is sort of bare bones as compares to many of our next years. The reasoning for that is because we close out and then full
In the middle of grants, sorry.
yeah, or close them out, or we're like spending money pretty quickly. I mean, this year, year to date, we received $2.4 million, but we spent 2.1 today. So our city of Hampton, ARPA grant, we anticipate bringing in $1 million, $30,000.
Jess, would it be, if I could, like, would it be accurate to say on that line, I might be looking at it correctly, but the city allocation was $2 million for our affordable homes program within the city.
Yeah.
Would it be accurate to say that we spent half of that money so far? Is that how the right way to look at that? Or we expect to have spent half the money by January 2025?
No.
Okay.
So I anticipated bringing in $1 million in 2024.
Yes.
We didn't do that primarily because our development costs on our house have living difficult right now, so we pursue that. The board knows we pursue pre-development funds
Yes.
in the initiative.
Yes.
So once that award came in, we got clearance to move on all of these projects. We've been able to spend down those ARPA funds. So those ARPA funds are committed. We have not physically sent the money out the door yet.
But it's coming,
but
because you've completed 2, and you've got like 4.
Yeah.
We'll hear about it's working, I'm sure, but there's
Yeah.
4 in various states of design, bid, construction, et cetera, correct?
Yeah.
So a big chunk of that money is going out,
yes.
either later this year or early next year, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Our Broome County ARPA grant expect to, bring in, $300,000 there. Municipal grant, this is where we partner with our municipalities on, municipal projects primarily, expect to, perhaps pull in about $10,000 there.
Sir, when you say pulling 300,000, okay, more?
No, so they've already allocated it, and we've already received the funds, but we haven't spent it. And they're not.
Do we have a check for them? Have we forgotten the check? We do?
Yeah.
But we get 500,000?
Yeah, so like, yeah, so like the same thing here, like, yeah, we've physically received the funding, we just haven't expected. Yeah. Okay. And then fund balance, we just put $5,000 in there because our grant funders believe that the shelters are working. So in the event that one of our funding sources don't come in the shelter, that's what's there for, but we don't take that to the case, we can pull those funds from others. And then below our project costs, we anticipate, hopefully we'll do around a demolition project, in, 2025. So we've got, $100,000, budgeted from our ARPA grant with the county there, in 2025. And then below that is our municipal grants, $10,000. And then rehabilitation, this is where most of our funding is coming from. So we anticipate to spend $1 million in the city of Inkton ARPA funding in 2025. And then below in our acquisition, $200,000 in Broome County ARPA funding, which the board is familiar with. Happy to talk about that this session during the board meeting as well. And then as the board is aware, the land-based access to properties, tax foreclosed properties, particularly throughout the state, is, depending on the land bank, it's questionable. So I have budgeted a larger figure there in the event that we have to pay more for tax foreclosed properties for whatever reason that may be, or in the late auction from taxable out. Property which really recognize probably going to cost more than $30,000. But if we're going to go down that route. That's it. And then the front page is just a reflection of all of it.
Rich?
So if the finance committee wants to accept the personnel committee proposal as their recommendation to the full board, I would recommend you guys consider that first, and then recommend this as the amended.
That has to be done first before we do the.
Yes, you would want to act to amend the budget, proposed budget before you pass it.
Okay.
Finance committee.
Okay, thank you.
Kyle, your motion is to,
Put forward the personnel.
yep, which is, if I could just explain that, so the world is familiar. The recommendation from the personnel committee was to adjust the executive director and assistant director salaries by 1 grade, which is in real numbers. As executive director, 83,444 to 92,311, with assistant director 76,588 to 82,766. Of course, the associated benefit.
Yeah.
That's how it looks.
Okay, second. Sorry. No. I will second. Okay. All those in favor?
So you only agree voting on
because we are the only ones on finance.
Okay. Yep.
Yep, then the full board will later. But this is put it into the budget. Okay. So. All those in favor? All right, or each also. Okay. Yep. And so that's part of the, budget.
Maybe vote on the budget as amended.
Yeah, and then, I do need a motion to vote on the budget as amended. Need a motion? Kyle, second, Tariq. Okay, all those in favor, we are all in favor. Done. So the, proposed budget has been, moved forward by the, finance committee. Other than that, are there any other questions or items that the committee has to come up with? None. Now I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Don't get up on
Huh?
don't get up on me.
Hurry, go ahead. All those in favor, we are adjourned.
Good. I recommend we just move forward right into our regular section if everybody is